It is such a beautiful moment to have successful, amazing, and beautiful women from all over Nigeria in one place. Wema Bank has made that happen. This is GoldmyneTV. My name is Comfort Editor Adejuba. Welcome to the prestigious She Empowers Her Award by Sarah, happening live at the beautiful Oriental Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos, for the International Women's Day Celebration 2024. This award is a commitment by Wema Bank to honor women's accomplishment and success in their different fields. The atmosphere, the ambience is so empowering and beautiful for the International Women's Celebration 2024. This award is a commitment by Wema Bank to honor women's achievement and success in their respective fields. The atmosphere is so beautiful here and so empowering. There will be symposiums, panel discussions, so many things going to happen here. If you're not here, I don't know where you are. This is GoldmyneTV. Stay tuned for more.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity and uphold her honor and glory. So help me God.
To mention that we're all going to have a mantra that guides today's conversation, right? So when we say Wema IWD, you will say inspire inclusion. I'll say that again. When we say Wema IWD, you say back at us inspire inclusion. So can we do that together? 1, 2, go. Wema IWD.
Inclusion.
We can make it a little louder. Wema IWD.
Inspire inclusion.
Absolutely. It's very important that we keep reminding ourselves of the underlying message that we're trying to drive home by these activities today and by the conversations that we'll be having today. And we're going to welcome someone that inspires inclusion very well here.
Absolutely. Now, to welcome someone really special to the house, a man I like to refer to as a Rolls Royce of a banker, a chief innovator, a tech guru, a master strategist, a he for she, a supporter of women empowerment initiatives globally and locally, the chief strategist of every amazing thing Wema Bank does around the world. Please make welcome the MD CEO, Wema Bank, Mr. Maruf Hosseini. Please put your hands together for him. If you're not clapping, you are wrong. I need it very loud as he walks forward.
Our esteemed guests, our customers, our partners, and of course, the phenomenal employees of Wema Bank. Good morning to you all. This one, thank you. So can we balance this properly? Yeah. The month of March has become an important fixture in the personal and corporate calendars across the globe because of what it represents. A period dedicated to honoring and celebrating the engine room of society, culture, and economies everywhere in the world, our women. The global theme this year is Inspire Inclusion, and our topic is empowerment through finance. There is this common cliche that money makes the world go round. I'm here to argue today that women make the world go round. This is true not only because of their unique roles as portals to life, but also because data suggests that women are better managers and handlers of finances. At Wema Bank, we are acutely aware of this. This mindset has driven our clearly laid out strategies for empowering women, from our SERA proposition that looks at meeting women's financial needs holistically, beyond just plain vanilla bank accounts and loans, to our commitment to ensuring that we continue to innovate around products and services that will indeed empower women to take their rightful place. As of today, about 53% of our total workforce are females, and we are constantly working to sustain and improve that ratio. For the first time in our 79-year history, the chairperson of this great organization is a woman. 38% of our board of directors are women. This is above the regulatory mandate of 30%. So, at Wema Bank PLC, we're walking the talk. It spills over even to our policies and benefits targeted at making work more conducive to working women, especially mothers. On the larger stage, it is getting better. Admittedly, but we are not yet there. There's still so much that can be done in banking and across other industries. As I have said elsewhere, it takes intentional action by all stakeholders to drive inclusion beyond just signaling and tokenism. Last year, I stood in Civic Center and I committed to being he for she for life. I stand by that commitment. Today, I want to leave you with this. Empower her, change the world. We all know that the world only works when women flourish. It is our collective best interest to ensure that women are included and empowered. Once again, thank you all for coming today. This event has been thoughtfully curated as we have an exciting lineup of speakers and activities that will hopefully deliver an enriching experience. Hashtag he for she for life. Hashtag empower her, change the world. Thank you. I love you all.
I'm actually a woman in tech. I work with a startup company and I'm the only lady there. I'm the only female there. And I know for a fact that the touch I've brought to that particular startup has been something unique. Like, they have to call me to ask me for stuff, even though I joined last. But the female touch has always brought serious and good impact to the company. This is very fantastic. I am so happy. In fact, I almost missed it. But when I got the invite, I did the late entry, and I was so happy because, you know, for a company to actually take out time and celebrate women, it's something that is not, you know, very common in Africa, in Nigeria. They just believe that women should just sit back but I know that a whole lot of Nigerian women have been on the forefront of professionalism and, you know, different businesses, and the businesses have grown to even outdo what they have, where they have put the women, the females. And the very unique thing about Wema Women's Celebration Day is that they actually took time, you know, to give them training. And, you know, not only are they just celebrating them today, they train them, they give them training, they have time, they give them they put in time and finances just to make sure that these women go far. And the women, you can see, the women they don't slow down. The women are not slowing down. Like, they are just back to back trying to do innovative things, you know. And I'm just so very happy. In fact, I had to drive all the way just to come and, you know, show my own presence and show that I'm a woman in tech, and I'm doing so well, and I'm happy about it. I like to lead. Anywhere I am, I'm always, you know, even if I'm leading from the back. I like to lead. But then again, I would like to shop though. I would like to travel the world and shop. Because as in where my strength is in with meeting women and discussing with them and telling them exactly what stuff they are made of and how good they can change the world. So I would like to travel the world.
This year, we have taken a step further to reinforce our commitment to empowering women by not only broadening the array of solutions women can access at Wema Bank through Sarah, but also providing unique experiences for women across various activities that we have engaged in. Today, beyond the teachings, the learnings, the networking, the selfies, the pictures, the entertainment, and all the other fun activities that you will access, please remember that the highlight of today for us at Wema is you, and you women. And for that reason, we have gone all out to make it a beautiful event that further shows how much we appreciate all the good work that women bring to the table and to celebrate their achievements. In all honesty, I'm tempted to drop some hints because the lineup is immaculate, is very exciting. But I've been urged to allow you to absorb this experience yourself and be pleasantly surprised all the way. So I obliged. But the single most important piece of advice I will give you is this: not many things in life are more expensive than a missed opportunity. So, please be intentional about every detail of your experience at this event, because the opportunities are unlimited. And not only that, we have a community of women who are here with a common goal of helping you achieve your personal and professional goals. The ball is now in your court. You have within your reach a bank that is committed to creating useful opportunities and enabling a more inclusive world for women. I can boldly attest to that. Please sit back, relax, unwind, leverage every opportunity presented to you today, immerse yourself in this experience, and have the time of your life. Thank you all for taking the time to join us here at the Wema Bank International Women's Day 2024. It is our day, and we all deserve the very best. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you all, and God bless.
It's so wonderful. I love what Wema Bank is doing with women, and then I feel a lot of women in leadership see stereotypes in their places of work, like they tell you a woman cannot be a manager, a woman cannot be this, a woman cannot be that because she's going to get pregnant. When she gets pregnant, she will not be able to do this, she will not be able to do that. But great, women are powerful. A lot of women have the strength more than some of our men able, So I really love this. About all inspiring is beautiful, is wonderful. If I would rather be the president of Nigeria, I don't think so. I would rather get a ticket to travel around the world to shop anywhere and anything I want.
And going with someone sometimes comes in the form of mentorship. These women have gone ahead, they've blazed the trail, they've shown young women that it is possible to dream, to think, and to achieve. And so we want to say thank you to them and especially recognizing them for being a part of our celebrations this year.
We will recognize the presence of the DG of World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the 7th DG of World Trade Organization. Put your hands together for her.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, ma'am, for being a part of today's celebration. We'd also like to recognize the person of someone whom I can personally say is very particular about being at events that are pushing conversations about women. I have seen her in a number of them. I want to say thank you for being here with us. I'm talking about the Honorable Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperative, Trade and Investment, Honorable Folashade Ambrose Medebem. Thank you so much for being here, ma'am. It's a pleasure to have you join us.
Also a queen from Anambra State, none other than the Honorable Commissioner for Transport, Anambra State, Felicia Igekwe. Put your hands together for her. All right.
And we also want to recognize the presence of the Iyaloja General of Lagos. We have here with us Folashade Tinubu. Please put your hands together for her. She's represented here today by Hajia Ramota Lawal. Thank you very much for being here with us. And I cannot wrap up without recognizing the presence of the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs. We have with us a woman who is making impact for women, my Leonard Senior, Uju Kennedy Ohane. Can we please put our hands together as we recognize her and say thank you to these women? There are more women who will be recognized as we proceed with today's activities.
Right, now onto the video we've all been waiting for. A recap of the activities of Wema Bank from January 2023 to date.
All right, we'll come back to that video shortly to talk about some of the activities, but of course just to encourage you and to let you know that you can, of course, be a part of the conversations and to see the things that Wema is doing by following us on social media at Wema Bank. We want to urge you, please, to follow us. And if you follow us, we will make you fishers of women.
You can also scan the barcodes on your tables to get access to the program of the day.
Absolutely.
National Women's Day, and in fact, Women's Month. I'm sorry I cannot be with you on this occasion due to conflicting engagements, but I want to encourage you to continue doing and even intensify the important work Wema Bank is doing to empower women internally and externally. There is now such a big body of research that shows that empowering women economically not only improves the situation of the household, but that of the nation and the world. You all remember the research by McKinsey several years ago that indicates that giving women the same economic opportunities as men globally will add a hefty $28 trillion to global GDP. At the WTO, we have found that women who trade externally as compared to domestically earn 3 times more. That is why we are working hard to integrate more women into the global trading system, so that we can help positively change their lives, that of their families and the world. To this end, the WTO, together with our sister organization, the International Trade Center, ITC, will soon launch a $50 million fund to accelerate the activities of women in digital trade. At Wema Bank, we have been working hard to empower women through your Sarah program, Women in Tech, and the ALAN programs, among others. Targeting micro, medium, and small enterprises is also akin to targeting women, since most businesses are owned or operated by female entrepreneurs. Let me congratulate you on launching these programs and urge that you do even more to intensify your outreach to women through these and other innovative approaches.
So I think this is actually a really great initiative put by Wema Bank, Sarah by Wema Bank. It's actually the first time I'm hearing about it, but it's a phenomenal event, well put together. I'm so excited that they've brought women together, great panelists together, and just the level of effort and resources that have been put into making sure that this is a very successful event. Like, kudos to Wema. It's so phenomenal. I wish we had more space for more women to be here. So yeah, great event. Say like maybe some of the stereotypes women face is that maybe they don't have like the capacity because they're first and foremost like women, but then they're mothers, they're wives, they might have other things, and so some people might think they may not have the capacity to be leaders because of the other things that are associated with just being a woman. Maybe that they feel like we're not smart enough, we're not able to take up space, we're not able to advocate for ourselves, or women who are like have that boldness or strongness. They might be seen as mean or not the most approachable because people typically tend to associate women with being soft or being like meek, and these are all great qualities, but a woman who is also bold and out there and a bit of an extrovert also shouldn't just be associated with being mean. If I had the opportunity to be either the president of Nigeria or just travel anywhere around the world, I would definitely travel around the world. Yeah.
Give them a round of applause. Let me come to you, Yewande. What you're doing is also quite unique. Agriculture, media communications company, focused on agriculture and nutrition. You probably come across lots of women, farming women across the value chain. In your own experience, what do you think we can do to encourage more women to get into farming? What are we communicating concerning agriculture to the public out there, and how do you think women are interested to getting into that sector at this time?
Thank you. So for what I do, and when it comes to agriculture, a lot of people just think farming, processing. There are a lot of opportunities in the sector. So I started out doing communications in the agriculture and nutrition space. So we have companies that we work with, clients, target market. And then now, we still do that, but we've pivoted into implementing programs. And what that means is we're implementing partners for a lot of development partners. So we create like nutritional programs to encourage, nutritious food in the market. We focus more on market systems, demand generation, behavioral change. And we work with a lot of women past the farm level, a lot of SMEs, a lot of women with small businesses. And what we try to do is how do we give them access to, like, finance is one of the big things, but it's not even just finance, but some of them don't even have accounts. So how do you get them in terms of just the basic bookkeeping, getting them to, open an account, also access to more information, knowledge. We also work in terms of scaling up their businesses. How do you encourage them to, market linkage, get to their market? That's the kind of thing we do. And internally as well, we work with a lot of women. I don't know if that's right, but we just have a lot of women that we work with. So that's we try to encourage them to, to be bolder, more aggressive, and have faith in themselves.
Okay, thank you so much. Please give a round of applause. Let me come to the Honorary Commissioner for Transportation. You are in such a very unique commission because obviously transportation is predominantly for men, and people wonder why is a woman the Commissioner for Transportation in Anambra State? How are you handling that, and what do you have to do extra to get your job done?
Thank you very much. I think, first of all, Mr. Governor C.C. Soludo fits the bill for he, for she. Because I'm not trying to be politically correct, but then I am in that space. Because that was the question he said most people asked him. This is transportation. Why should a woman be there? And he said to himself, it's him telling me this, that he said, why not? And before I accepted the position, he said, mind you, that this transportation we are talking about is not just the buses and the kekes and all that. That it encompasses the multimodal transportation, which means air, water, rail, roads, and pipelines. That he's looking at the national policy on transportation. And he feels that this challenge is something that if he throws it at me, that I'll be able to do my best. And for that, I kind of was taken aback because I come from the background of legal practice. I've been a lawyer close to 40 years. And I was saying to myself, if this man could have this confidence in me to go out there and make a difference, then I should put myself to the table. Because that's one thing that us women don't do, from be it that I'm selling in the mill or I am the CEO of the biggest company in the world. We shrink away from sitting at the table. We must make that conscious effort to sit at the table. So this is me coming into the transportation world, being determined to sit at the table. Because when you sit at the table, even when you don't speak, you hear. You get to understand the landscape of where you are. You get to understand the temperaments of people. So now I'm sitting up, hearing my operators, the transporters, even from the two-wheelers all the way to whatever wheelers want to be. Having the conversations about railways, having the conversations about seaports. These are conversations that we as women, when I go there, I don't go there just by myself. It's like Maya Angelou said, that when she goes for interviews, she goes with everybody. So when I go to these meetings, perhaps I'm the only female in the room, but you, my sisters, are with me there. I see you in those meetings. So when I go and look at how things will affect everybody, and when I don't see anybody that looks like me, I ask the question, what about the woman? So those are the things that we bring to the table. I encourage women business owners to go into the transport and the logistics sector because there's a lot to be done there, quite a lot.
Thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause. We have to encourage our speakers. Let me come to the Honorable Commissioner in Lagos State of Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment. That's such a huge portfolio for a beautiful looking woman like this. You know, you think, well, that is a lot of work you're doing. Tell us a bit about how we can be more inclusive when it comes to the ecosystem for women, innovation and entrepreneurship. The reason is because we want to get involved, especially in commerce, especially in trade. But lots of women don't have an idea how to have an inroad into that sector. So what do you think, or how can you direct lots of women who are hoping to be included in all the innovative entrepreneurial opportunities within that sector?
Thank you. Thank you for your question, and I'd like to say before I answer your question, I'd like to congratulate Wema Bank for this really, really incredible event, and thank you all for ensuring that we're all fully represented, and obviously to greet my panelists as well. And just to answer your question, I think it's just one word, or two actually, being intentionally inclusive. That's really it. And it starts and permeates from the top. And by that I mean Mr. Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, is very clear and is very intentional throughout everything in terms of his first administration and his second one. And through the second one, you can see that the themed development agenda, actually he included a plus. And that plus stands for youth, includes youth development, social inclusion, gender equity, and really making sure that he's being intentional about it, and that permeates. And I'm really happy that I'm meeting my fellow commissioner here, and I'm sure you all are aware that the recent red line that was launched just a few weeks ago by His Excellency the President was run by a woman of the MD of Lamata. And she's doing great things, and it's really making the whole of us all proud as women. Now, going back to my specific ministry in itself, my strategy is very clear. I've got a 30-page strategy, but if I break it down into just 3 points, it's one about driving economic prosperity and growth, 2 is about focusing on trade, and the 3rd one is about strengthening the organized private sector. And you'll be happy to say that I'll say through MSMEs, through the industrial sector, nanos, which is the grassroots, and I've just included that, startups, and most fundamentally and intentionally, women. So I'm being very intentional under this ministry to make sure that is achieved. And so everything that we do in terms of partnering with business member organizations, etc., I'm always asking that question. And I needless to say, I'm going to hold up my hand. I'm a mom of 3 young women. I'm also an advocate of women. And I know when you start to look at some of the global statistics, and I'll quote a few. According to UN Women, it's going to take us 300 distant years, right, in order to close the gender equality gap. And so what I'm also doing within Lagos State and under the leadership of Mr. Governor is really taking it one step further. And so there's what we call equality, which is, I'll use an analogy, making sure every woman wears a shoe. Whereas when we talk about equity, it's about making sure that every woman that wears a shoe that actually fits. So you're being specific and you're being intentional and you're making sure that that particular shoe fits that particular stakeholder in question. And so with that intentionality and specificity, did I say that right? I'm being very, very clear. And we're doing a lot. We have the International Women's Day event that we're going to hold, and you're all invited, and I'll be working with Wema Bank now to make sure that we have a very successful, impactful event. It's actually going to be focusing at the grassroots, because when you think about it, informally, they're typically the ones that are often ignored. And that's really what inclusivity is all about. I'll stop there, thank you.
Thank you for taking me there, because that was going to be, please give her a round of applause, encourage her. So,
I will debunk both. Yeah, that's the truth. If you give me money, if you don't tell me what to do with it, I would rather use it to empower women and the youth, because that's what I've been known for. I have an NGO that takes care of the women, Omosheke Adunola Foundation. Yeah, we actually take care of women who have vision, who wants to go on a career or have a skill or go to school but are not able to do it. Yeah, we get sponsorship for them, or from my own salary, we try to help such people. We've set up a lot of people in business, and I have a lot of people who share the vision with me. So I'm giving the money, I want to invest in people. And that's why I actually support and I inspire inclusion, women inclusion. You asked also if, what are the stereotypes that women face? For a long time now, even those that says they have included women, the reality is women are still facing a lot of, I wouldn't want to call it intimidation, but that's what it is on the jobs. Even at offices, you get to some parastatals and you realize that a woman gets to a level, a woman gets to a particular position and she can't go up again because she's a woman. The fact that she's gotten to a director, she's very qualified, she's doing all the job that is necessary, but that doesn't mean, just because she's a woman, they won't be able to promote her to become the DG of the parastatal. It's so disheartening, and it could be discouraging for women because women try to work hard. Most of the time we know that whatever a woman decides to do, she does it with the whole of her heart. And because of the nature of women, women carry along their husbands, they carry along their family members, they carry along the children. And that's why we believe if we empower a woman, we're actually empowering a whole nation. Yeah, because they will always want to think about other people and the youth alike. It's very unfortunate that a lot of institutions, a lot of organizations, a lot of nations, countries are not considering putting women in positions of authority. But I think that is actually the way to go. Just include the women. They will not rival you. It's just to include them, and they're going to perform their parts, and you also, the men, perform your parts.
Just said, Inclusivity includes all the various levels of women. We're in a hall this big, but there's some women that are excluded. In corporate Nigeria, there's some women that are excluded. The informal sector, they also need this information we have. So what are you doing individually, either by training, mentoring in your individual capacities, to ensure that we're including women from all the levels up until where you are? So I'd like each of you to take that 1 minute each, and I'll start from you, Jenny. You deal with nurses, go ahead.
Hello. Okay. All right. So one way we're doing that, or actually the major way we're doing that, is through the workforce that we employ. So when CAFIA first started, we were very intentional with leveraging community health officers to provide primary health care. The reason why we went that route and still continue to go that route, is because they're embedded in the communities that we want to really reach. So they're in the semi-formal, even in the rural communities. And so we made sure that we onboarded a lot of them on our platform. We trained them, so not only did they have their own qualifications, but when they came to CAFIA, we gave them additional training like first aid, basic life support, and other educational training, just to make sure that when they are serving our patients, especially in the communities that they serve, they are showing up as their best, and they're able to put in the best work for it. And so that's how we're making sure that we are including those communities. Right. Our first product is a USSD-based platform, and so that allows us to reach women or just people in the informal communities, in the rural communities that don't necessarily have a smartphone, right, or have issues with infrastructure, internet. And so with that, they're able to come onto our platform and access like telemedicine. They can request for a home visit. They can have their medications delivered to them. Yeah. And our platform is still running today. And so those are the ways that we work, that we are making sure that we are penetrating, right, that community that often tends to be ignored or disregarded.
Right. Fantastic. Telemedicine is a big deal. Please come for her. It's a lot she's doing. Telemedicine is something that is quite innovative, and there's a lot of people that can be blessed with it. So well done, to Jenny, on what you're doing. Let me come to Dr. Pamela. Would you like to take that question?
Yes, thank you. In the different aspects of the work that we do, so from the Healthcare Federation, we have developed the Healthcare Women's Forum, which actually deals with not just women, but also youth inclusion, so it's gender and youth inclusion. We also work with through our partners, through the associations. We have a number of civil society associations that work specifically in the rural areas and work at developing women specifically through that. We also, through, for example, the work we do at the Bridge Clinic, we have a partnership with the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, where we provide fertility care and services for indigent patients and provide that for them, so fertility care. And through the program that we have, the Doctors on Air program, we provide information on the radio, and also over the years have consistently done medical missions where we provide healthcare, going into key areas where people don't. So for example, in Lagos State, Bariga, Yaba, and all those kinds of areas, to provide healthcare services that they would not normally access.
Fantastic. Well done with Doctors on Air. I know the program, and it has actually blessed me personally. So well done. Please give her a round of applause. Okay, let me come to you, Andy. Your final words on this. Yeah.
For us at Wonderville, for two things. Most of our projects are usually targeted at 60% women. And it's not just, having women there, but how are we improving their livelihoods? Making sure they have access to finance, capacity building training, and, encouraging them to encourage their children. Also, eat nutritious food, because we're big champions of nutrition. For us internally, we found out that when it comes to project work, in the comms side, we get a lot of women, but when it comes to project work, we have a lot of men. So how do you encourage women to get more involved, learn the skills, and also to speak up? Because what we found out is women tend to shy away. They don't, and this is just in the development sector, women tend to shy away. They don't feel like they can own it. So encourage them and say, you can do it. If a man can do it, you can do it better, and give them an opportunity to learn to be better.
Fantastic. Please give her a round of applause also. Yes, ma'am. Would you be willing to go ahead?
This is what I would like to say to us as sisters. we have the opportunity to look out for ourselves. Yes, my colleagues have talked about it in the corporate world, but there is a neighbor that you can encourage. There is a student that you can encourage. So if we take the practical steps, there's some women, they might not be lettered, but they have organizational skills. And you could somehow mentor or encourage the person to put it into a position that she can earn from it. You can encourage that young girl coming up to understand that that life is cyclical. I could see myself 40 years ago, I was in my 20s, and now I'm talking retirement, or I have retired in some fashion of it. So it's a process that you have to intentionally do your bit. The men, the he or she and all that, they do that for their boys. They see a bright young boy, they encourage the boy. Have you taken your WAEC? Have you done this? What course are you studying? If it's a guy that knows how to sew, they encourage him. Then he sews a Baba Riga that he sells for 200,000. But we don't encourage our own, or we don't think that we should. So I think I will charge each and every one of us to go the extra step for anybody that looks like you in whatever race, wherever you find yourself. You see somebody in the bathroom doing housekeeping, say hello to that person, because that person is not going to stay there forever. Give that word of encouragement. Capacity building. If we build up ourselves enough, then we will now have the critical mass to make the decisions, and always encourage ourselves to sit at the table, or sit near the table, because one day you'll be sitting at the table. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, that's all we can take. I know you've already answered the question on inclusion. I can give you 30 seconds to add one or two things if you'd like to add.
Okay, well, I'll concur with everything my fellow women have said. And the only thing that I will add is that in order to inspire inclusion, I think you just said it all, is for all of us to really be accountable and speak up and hold each and every important stakeholder accountable, because inclusivity requires us to take giant strides in driving equity. Thank you.
Thank you. Please give all the women on stage.
Thank you very much for that question. I think the answer is yes. And the reason is because we talk about inclusive leadership. And so it's important for women at the helm in various organizations to deliver this, to enable other women. The previous panelists talked about, and yes, the numbers are out there. We need 300 years to close this gap. And there's also, the gap has also been quantified in terms of naira and kobo, dollars, to say that organizations that are able to close this can benefit more to that tune of, I don't have the entire amount in my head. So I would say, it is the responsibility of women, the responsibility of the entire organization, but it is important for women to do that, because like the commissioner said, anytime I walk into a room, I don't see only myself. I'm very deliberate about how I show up, because if I don't show up, I can shut the door for other women. You know, how I show up, what I do, because I'm just a representative. And so if I shut the door, I hurt myself. By the way, I have 3 daughters. So I'm an evangelist, I'm on a mission, because they must thrive in life. And so it's about ourselves. When you look at people that are like you, do you shut the door in their faces, or do you open it and welcome them in? And then you can look back and say, indeed, you know, and let me segue into inclusive leadership, and then I round up. I wanted to say, you look back and say, you indeed fulfill purpose. At the center of inclusive leadership is purpose. Forget it if, no matter how inclusive you are, people cannot realize their purpose, they cannot connect to their aspirations, is all just talk. So the core of it is purpose. Culture will enable it, because inclusive leadership is actually an environment, is like a catalyst that enables people, become who and what they should.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sawyer. Thank you. Please, you can give her a round of applause. We hear you clearly that you feel it is a responsibility, at least for you, a personal responsibility as a woman, a female in leadership, to ensure that your style of leadership is inclusive and so everybody's voice is heard. I'd like to pose a question to the audience at this time. How many leaders do we have in the room this afternoon? How many leaders? Please raise your hand so we can see it really high, so we know that we have an audience. How many leaders? So you have a group of people, and mind, as women, leadership is not just in a corporate setting. You can be a leader in your family, you can be a leader in your home, you can be a leader in a group or society, but we find that for every single one, we hold one leadership position or the other. How many of us practice or understand the concept of inclusive leadership? Show of hands. It's okay if you don't. That's why we're having this panel this afternoon. How many of us? Okay, excellent. How many of us struggle with it and want to leave this place being able to understand and then apply that style of inclusive leadership? How many people? Excellent. So, to get better, that's why we're having this conversation this afternoon. And we really want everyone, not just women. The women are leading the conversation today, but it's the responsibility of both men and women. As long as you're a leader, the onus is on you to foster an environment where everyone feels included and everyone feels like their voices are heard, because it makes for a better organization and you are more productive as a business. Are we all in agreement? Excellent. So I'll move to Ms. Adenike Macaulay, CEO of Wakana right now. Wakana right now. So the question is, and I'll modify yours very slightly. When it comes to fostering and inclusion, I asked Ms. Sawyer, does she feel it's a responsibility, being female, to foster inclusive leadership? On your own part, in addition to telling us what the concept means to you, what you understand by that, do you feel the pressure that because I'm a woman, it's expected of me, perhaps even more than your male counterpart as a leader, that people just expect that you're a woman, you should understand, you're a woman, you should know this better than others? Or do you think it's a shared responsibility? On a personal note, being a leader in your organization.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. Happy International Women's Day to everyone. On the question of feeling as though there's a responsibility to foster a more inclusive environment or a more inclusive organization, being a woman in leadership, and if it's the responsibility of actually women in leadership to actually drive that. The short answer is yes, but there are many pathways to fostering inclusive leadership. Oftentimes when we talk about these things, your mind immediately goes to advocacy. Your mind immediately goes to the need to change a narrative. Of course, we understand all the metrics today that show us that gender diversity is we're still some years away from that, particularly in leadership. However, the fact that you are a woman in leadership shows that there is already movement in the right direction. And the responsibility that you would have in fostering that and ensuring that you leverage that responsibility to inspire inclusion in the organization is by the results that you actually bring to the table, the results that you actually drive through that position that you have as a woman in leadership. Advocacy becomes easier on the back of proven results. Oftentimes you don't have to overly convince, and that's why I like the theme for this year, which is Inspire Inclusion. To inspire means to motivate, to demonstrate that something is good. When you're inspiring somebody, they see something good in you and they want to emulate, they want to do that. So it's positive motivation. Inspiring inclusion to me means you highlighting the positives, the added values, the benefits of inclusion, and your responsibility and our responsibility as women in leadership is to ensure that we demonstrate and we deliver the value that is expected of us, so it becomes easier for the next woman that is in the line for that from that position. And that is what it means, bringing the ladder a bit lower for the next woman to climb on.
Of course, sponsorship, mentorship, and all of that has a place to play. But the most important responsibility that you have is making the most and the best out of that opportunity that you have as a woman to demonstrate that women can indeed do it. And by virtue of that, you start to create an inclusive organization. Of course, there's a place for policy setting. I think Dr. Siniola mentioned that as well, to ensure that hiring policies actually account and accommodate having a diverse talent pool. But having a diverse talent pool also starts from having women that can be in that consideration set. So there's a place for empowering women to get into the talent pool. There's a place for policy setting to ensure that even the hiring board or the hiring team is also diverse. Absolutely. Because women sometimes make different hiring decisions from men, and the results of those hiring decisions sometimes is reflective of also the diversity of the hiring pool. So there are multiple pathways to, I would say, leveraging the influence that you have as a woman in leadership beyond actually advocacy. It starts from you delivering value and showing that I'm doing it, the next person can do it as well.
Excellent. Thank you so very much.
I work with Wema Bank as the head of diaspora banking and prestige banking. Okay, it's obvious from the settings and the events that series of event program and the agenda. It's obvious that is a fantastic one. It's one in town. There has never been a big celebration to celebrate International Women's Day, an event to celebrate women in Lagos like this. I think it's a fantastic one, and continue to do this to celebrate our women and also to create more awareness on getting women included. There are a lot of stereotypes women face as leaders. As women, you need to defend your competence, you need to defend your skills, you need to be sure where an average man or other genders might get it easily, but as a woman, you have to defend your competence as a leader.
sure if you clap louder, they'll come up quicker.
Josephine Aderemi, please follow. Josephine Aderemi, please come along. Menta Nkene, please come along. Mavis Kabu, please come along. Mavis, please. Damilola Owolabi, please step up. Damilola Owolabi,
Round of applause for her, ladies and gentlemen. It's a day for women. Women supporting women is a big thing, so please support our graduates.
Paula,
Please support our graduates as they come forward.
Paula, Taiwo Savage, please step up. Oluchi John. Can we have someone represent the following who are up country? They are joining us virtually, or we'll have representatives collecting the certificates again. Can we have a representative for Oluchi John? Please step up. Oluchi John. Olubumi Oshin. Gloria Dada. Victoria Akinyemi, Jane Ilemodu, and Maurice Okonkwo. They're up country, they're joining us virtually, they've gone through a whole year of training engagement and are graduating today.
A round of applause for them, please. They can hear you online, so it's okay to clap for them as well. Thank you. Now, can we all come forward with the MD to take a... Thank you. Lovely. Big smile. Oh, one more. Thank you. Let us give Mrs. Ololade Ogunbero a round of applause as she takes her seat. And big congratulations to every woman here today. You're the real MVP.
All right, and just to let you know as well that all of this was put together by Wema Bank through the vehicle of Sarah by Wema. So can we please applaud Wema Bank specially and applaud Sarah by Wema.
We sure hope you enjoyed this video. For more entertaining video content such as behind the scenes of music videos and movies, music concerts, premieres, interviews, and exclusive gists, subscribe now to our YouTube channel GoldmyneTV and be unleashed into a world of super excitement.